Hello future tech leaders, I am Sindhuja. Based on my own experience, I know that learning the right skills can shape our future. What if I say learning was as thrilled as the tech world itself? There we go. A cloud foundation, that's exactly what you will experience. From day one, you will be immersed in the interactive sessions and expert-led courses that covers most of the widely used technologies in the zone of data science to cloud computing, which brings more light to the life of a techie. I'm so excited to help you and unlock the true potential of a technology. Well, then why to wait? Let's see what it unfolds.
Open a flow action rule under one flow rule also. Go to flow once before going to the lecture. Yesterday we had discussed it. Now we will start again for the leap from that. Here the leap, we have a flow rate. In a flow, we have an assignment shape, right? Assignment shape is a representation of a set, a representation of a screen, right? But which screen it has to show? Like we have many screens in an application, we'll be having many screens, right? But which screen we have to show, that one we need to define somewhere, right? Or else how the system will know? If the system cannot understand by its own rate, we have to define the section somewhere on a flow rate. Then only that particular screen will get picked up while executing a flow. Are you getting my point? Yes. Like now see, a flow is in work object, like flow is in our workflow. Inside flow, we have assignment shapes. Inside assignment shapes, we have a connectors. We have a character straight inside connectors. We have a flow action. If you open a flow action, go to a flow action. If you saw the flow action, see on the first tab, it is asking for section. This is asking for section. We have already discussed about section. Section is a new area presentation. Whenever the first assignment is getting invoked with this particular screen, this particular section will be showing on your screen. Got my? Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? No. Alright, see what is the flow action. How will flow action will get invoked? In the flow action will be invoked from a flow level. Flow is an high level thing inside. You have flow actions inside flow actions. You will be having a sections. This is how you will see the screen. Once the screen whatever the screen you are seeing, that particular screen is getting from a flow action. And inside flow action, if you see, there is a tab called action tab. Here you have pre-processing and post-processing, right headings. You can see there is a pre-processing and there is a post-processing. Inside pre-processing, you have run data transform and run activity. And again inside post-processing, you have run data transform and run activity. What does this indicate? Is like pre means before showing the section. Before the section is displayed on screen, these particular things will get executed and it will perform some actions on a clipboard or database. If you have given something in pre-processing, it will execute before showing it on a section like similar to utility. Whenever you have given utility before assignment shape, What does it will do before showing the screen that particular activity will get executed, right? Similarly, you can give it that in pre and post processing, pre-processing also. Any question? You even to say like post-processing. No, what I'm talking about pre-processing. Talking about pre-processing. And post-processing is like whenever you submit that particular skin. You have a submit option in the below for every screen, right? Whenever you submit that particular screen, this post-processing things will happen. Suppose there is an thing like you are doing some calculation on a screen. Suppose you are adding two items like A plus B. You need to enter those two values on first screen, right? The A value and B value. Now you need to calculate those things, right? Somewhere you need to do addition, right? On click of submit means on post processing. You will add those two properties and you will show on a next screen that value will be stored on clipboard and different in the next screen you will show that value. Not only the data manipulation like addition like this, but you can also do sorting. Sometimes people will do many things on a post processing, like they will save the data into database on post processing explicitly. They will delete some things on post processing activities. Post processing, when it will execute, is a main point here. It will execute when you submit your screen. You understand? You understand? You understand? You know final result will be showed in the screen after post processing. After post processing, the final result will be stored on a clipboard. Whenever you're mapping that final result on a next screen, that one will be shown there. Got my point? Confused, or shall I repeat once again? No, it is. And then that one question coming like it is also temporary or it will go to database even after some. That's all depend on our activity, how we have written there. How we have written, our activity is based on that. If you're saving in that activity, in post-processing activity, it will be temporary. Sorry, it will permanently save or else it will be temporary. And then it will be dependent on many things like on what page you are making a changes. Suppose you're making a primary page like PUU, a work page or some other pages, it will be saved into DB. Or else, if you're making your data manipulation, some temporary pages like whatever the page you have created, then you have to make your own object. Save, submit will not submit, save will not work like you. Actually, no need to worry, PEGA will take care of those things. When you click on submit, it will take care. Pre-processing and post-processing are like. Pre is like before showing on screen. Post is like after clicking on submit. And you have one more tab called validation tab. There if you saw on the top of validation, it's suppose you need to validate any data on your screen. Like you need to validate your properties. Like if you're entering your PAN card or anything. That we will be having some specific format, right? The length, the characters. It will not have any special characters like that. If you need to do any special kind of validation, you will create one validate rule and you will add it here. Whenever you submit it before invoking post processing, it will first validate. If all the data is correct, then only it will get submitted. Got my point? Validation. Validation is like it will validate a particular screen, whatever the properties you are giving in a validate rule. Those properties it will get validated. Validation. And if suppose there is any violation, then it will show a message on screen. It will show a message on screen, but the validation will work only if you click on submit this validation. This is called server-side validation. This will work only if you click on submit. The data will go to server and then it will validate it. Only if you click on submit, it will validate. Every property we need to validate one by one, right? I mean multiple validation is not possible. No. In the validate rule itself, you can add multiple properties. If you open a validate rule will be present under decision. You enter one rule there. Now and click on the cursor icon. There we can have multiple criteria. You have plus second below right if they are validating and P by label property some condition. You had a priority date, I think, to add. Click on plus. See, you can add whatever property you can do. You can write. You can add it and you click on add in the right side. You have added. You can add your condition. What is this thing contains? If it is a required property, check as a required or else you can do your function. If you click on drop down, see if it is a daytime property. You can add a daytime property. You can add a data future date. Like if suppose it is a daytime property or select it first one. We select it. See, it is asking if is in past. If suppose that property is in past, it will show a message. If suppose there is a date of joining, the date of joining must be future or current rate. It should not be past. If you give this like this, the condition, if it is in past, it will show that message. You need to give your own custom message. Got it right? Any questions here? No. You can easily understand those functions. It will just take an input. We don't differ. Actually, you will not have parameters, but for an action you will be having good. Go to action. If you add any data to see there are no parameters, it's a below for P. For there is a run activity right on the top. For pre-processing, there is a run activity right. See, there is a parameters below. Oh, no parameter set right. Parameters are like whenever you need to pass anything, like if you need to filter in an activity or if you need to do any. Parameters are like inputs. Whenever you need to give any input, the dynamically changing value, then you need to pass it as a parameter. Perfection. You will not pass any parameters. That one you will not use. Go to the top. Go to layout. This one you will not use. See, you will use that one. You have a use current page. context is there. That one. Sometimes people will change use current page context to use clipboard page. Suppose the section is in a different class and the flow action is in a different class. See, now the section and flow action are same class. You click on the side. Don't click there. You click somewhere. See that one, and the section class below is then applies to. Applies. Below page context. See, that is a sections class. The top one is flow action class. If both classes are same, then you will use current page context. If it is a different classes, like there is no inheritance, it is completely different, then you will use clipboard page and you will keep a page name here. Use clipboard page and it will ask for a page. It will take the class that is mapped to that particular page. And you can change the applies to class also. See, just to change the context, you will use these things. While doing, you can easily get to know like how, in which classes your rules are there. You will get to know in your application, right? These things will be able to understand in your class structure applications, class structure. Will there be a class for, a session for class structure as well? Will there be a session for class structure as well? In this. By implementing it, we will be getting to know. There will not be any session dedicated to it, but while practicing, you can able to. Shall we go for agents fans? High-level view of agents. Go to technical, expand technical. Click on agents, not technical. I think she said. You open any agent. You open PEGA Procom. PEGA Procom is there, right? PEGA Procom is an agent for SLs. SLA is also an agent. Backend. The agent only would get located for SLAs also. First, we'll see what happened, how the agent will be configured. This is an agent. This is how it looks. Every rule set will be having one agent. This is a PEGA Procom. This is a rule set. This for one rule set, you need to have only one agent. Inside one agent, you can add any number of things. See, the name of a root agent is PEGA Procom, right? But this agent will perform these many tasks, 4 tasks. You can add a number of tasks here. Now why? Are you able to click on press icon? Just click on. You can add a number of tasks here. Now you can see first thing is just an agent name. What is a thing you are actually in locating? And after that you see you have a pattern, right? Periodic. Periodic and recurring will be there. And startup. Startup is like whenever node is started. Whenever you have restarted its server with start, right? Then it will invoke E. Periodic is like it will ask for intervals, like intervals in essence, like 40 seconds, 30 seconds. It will run for multiple times in a day. If you keep recurring, it will run for once in a week. Like it is a recurring. You select recurring. See you, click on advanced. See, it is asking on which day it has to invoke, like daily, weekly, monthly. Recurring means. You understand what is the recurring and periodic. Periodic means it will It will run like in a short interval of time, like 60 seconds, 30 seconds, 1 minute. If we select periodic and set it for like 1 minute, after every 1 minute and the agent will run. And that is for every day, right? Every 1 minute. For today it will suppose not that that time is 7:47, right? It will invoke a 7:47, 7:48, 7:49 like that in a particular day. And even on next day, it will continue the same, right? The next 12th, it will continue. But this recurring is like, suppose if it is daily every weekend or something. If it is daily at 7 am, if it is daily at 7 am, it will invoke at 7 am only. Means daily one time. And you can select the time zone. But because the applications will be on many times, right? You can select the time zone also on which time zone it has to know. Click on cancel. And we have two types of agents. One is standard and advanced. Click on standard. Advanced. Legacy will not use. We have one standard and advanced. Standard in the sense. Standard agents. In the standard agents, if suppose any mistake happens, if suppose any error happens, then what will happen? It will requeue the item. Requeue means suppose, let me tell you, you have opened a case, or else you have opened a record. You have done OBJ open. For employee ID word. Then you have acquired a lock on it. You have a lock checkbox when you're doing OBJ open, right? You have clicked on lock checkbox. Now what will happen? If you click on lock checkbox, that one will be in your log. Now, if agent is also trying to open that particular thing, then what will happen? Agent cannot open it because there is a lock acquired by you. It will fail. OBJ open will fail for agent. Now, if it is a standard agent, what does it will do? It will move. It will move the item to broken queue. Broken queue means broken items. And it will requeue the items. It will requeue on its own means. It will again start processing on those items after some time. You understand? This will be taken care by on its own. Understood? But in case of advanced agents, that requeue will not be done. It will be there. We need to perform our own custom requeuing under Windows this way. When and how it has to execute those items. We need to do it again. You got it? What I'm trying to say? No, not validating on all. See, generally, standard agents are used to update a work object. It will update a work object. Update in the sense it will modify some data in a case. If you have created a case called a 1, it will do some updates in the overnight or something. Suppose if you have issued your debit card, then the debit card status will get something issued or something. You have to change, right? In a day, a bank issues 1,000 numbers of debit card to its customers. Each and every operator cannot open that particular customer's record, and they cannot update, right? What generally they will do? They will queue for an agent. There is a method called queue for agent in an activity. Whenever it will queue for an agent, what it will do whenever this agent is invocated, then that particular inside an agent, you will be having one activity. You saw there is an activity name in the below. You saw a process event. Like that, you'll be having one activity. Agent is also an activity, but which will invoke on its own. What we'll doing in an activity, we'll be opening that customer's report and we'll be doing some updates and some modifying it, and we'll be again saving that record. We'll begin saving that record. Now, if you are trying to open that customer's report, if you're trying to edit that customer's report, if suppose any other operator has opened that particular customer's report, then what will happen? You cannot modify the data because one operator is already working on that particular customer's report. Again, the agent cannot work on that particular report. At that time, OBJ open will fail. You understand? Because the lock is with that operator. Got. That DB record cannot be modified by two operators at a time. The agent will fail. Whenever the agent is failed, you need to write on jump condition. In activity, we saw a jump condition that if you open the process event, also you can see open the process event activity there. See, they are doing some properties. Say, you click on the jump condition there. It's true. Then jump to later step. Click on execute cell A. 7th step. They are calling one more activity, right? Open that activity. They have used call method, right? They are invoking another activity from this. Click on that. See, they are doing many things here. And you come down. You still come down. See, whenever something is failed, I think they are doing OBJ save cancel. Means they are not saving it. You saw on the 28th step, right? They are setting some activity status. Expand the 27th step. Activity set status to fail. See, they are setting to fail. And they are save. They are save cancelling. It means they are not saving something. They have written their custom activity here. Now what will happen if something is failed? We'll do just like this. Like we'll just keep some fail and we'll cancel the save. Now what will happen in the background? It's a standard agent, right? Standard agent will re-queue the item to first. It will store in a broken queue. Broken queue means what are the work items has broken. What are the work items got failed? It will store all those work items and broken queue on its own. See, we are not queuing in the activity. We are not queuing in the activity. It will be stored on a broken queue items and it will re-queue on its own. It will again start processing on the items on its own. But in case of advanced agent, what happens? In case of advanced agent, we need to queue those items. Like, we need to take care of the broken items. We need to write our own custom logic. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Advanced and standard. Yes, I want. You go to agents one more time. Now that agents or instances is there, right? You try to open any other agent. Let's see if advanced is there. Mostly you try to open the first one. Expand the first one. Let's see how actually they have. Open that activity name. Oh, this is Java. They have written a Java code. That's fine. And see generally what people do for updating a work object. For updating a work object, they will use standard agents. Because standard agent will again requeue the items. We need not take care of anything. They will use standard agent. Suppose there is a congregations like sending an email at every morning 9 o'clock or sending a report to managers at every evening, the work status. Or there will be some jobs where you will not update a work item. You will just send a notifications or send an emails or send a reports. Those kinds of those kinds of tasks will be there, right? In that particular scenario, you will use work advanced agents because the failure ring of a task will be very less. If you need to send an email every day at 4 o'clock, there is no chance of failing the task because you will not OBG open and all you will not do, you will just trigger an email. Those things you will be using advanced agents. Those things you will use advanced agency. Advanced agents are called job schedulers. Advanced agents are called job schedulers. We need to schedule a job. It will work. But standard agents are called queue processors. Queue processors, in essence, they will process one by one work item. The queue it will process. In the latest versions of PEGA, they have removed the agents and they have removed standard and advanced agents concept. They removed in the sense it will be there, but people will not much show interest to use. People will use if they want to process any work object. They will use a queue processors. If they want to do any kind of email processing or if they want to send any reports, then they will use job schedulers. You understand it. You are scheduling a job. It will perform it like sending an email or something like that. Queue processor like it will open a work item and it will update the work item and again save the record. I understand. You go to an activity rule once again. If you saw here you have categories, fine. And see, you have to enable it. If you didn't enable that one, that agent will not run. If you can also disable it, the disabling is like you need to uncheck that one. You have to uncheck that one. And there is an interview question like how to trace an agent. How to trace it? Because the agent will run on a server. It is not any operator's context. And also it will run at any particular time. How to start? How to actually trace an agent? How to trace? If suppose sometimes what happens in production and all agents will get stuck. It will not perform the actions whenever it is running. They will fail every time. Now to debug those things, how do you debug? How do you trace it? In PEGA old versions, it is a very tough task to trace an agent, tough in the sense. You need to make many modifications in your Designer Studio to trace an agent. Like you need to use PL. There will be one tool called. That tool is also PEGA's tool only. Analyzers. I think PLA PEGA log analyzers. You have some analyzers. PEGA will provide you using those analyzers. You have to trace an agent. That is in PEGA version 7. You need to delay some time and you need to trace it. That is all we not require now. On a top, you have Dev Studio, right? If you go to Admin Studio, you click on Agents. You have Agents and Queue Process and Jobs, right? Anything you click on the right side. If you click on Agents, if you have selected one agent, you just select one agent. You expand it. First of all, you expand it. This is actually running. If it is in green color, it is running. If it is in red color, it has stopped. It is also running. Now you select that agent. You select the agent and you have a trace right on the top. You have traced it there. You can trace it on next. And like you have trace now, trace next turn. When? Now if you are tracing on next turn. If suppose it will execute it tomorrow morning 7 o'clock, you can't wait to that particular time, right, to trace it. What you will do? You will simply change your timings on your private edit. You will make an agent to run my in the next 1 minute or 2 minutes. And you will click on trace next turn. To click on trace next turn, you will open a tracer. You click on it. Trace next turn. It will be waiting there until they see waiting for agent to run. Whenever the agent is running, it will trace it. More than 30 minutes from now means generally what people will do. People will open this agent in the Designer Studio. They will modify the time. They will modify the time to 1 minute or 2 minutes and they will perform the debugging. Why it is getting failed while running invocation and all. You understand it. How to trace an agent? This is an interview question. You need to trace an agent from Admin Studio. From PEGA 8, right? This is the upgrade. This is from PEGA 8. You people will not ask the whole things and all. If you people will not ask how you trace in PEGA 7, like they will not ask, they will just ask how do you trace an agent. Suddenly just click on that settings down. No. I can't see your screen. I guess here is that a treasure. It will not work. Someone. This station will not see this. What is this station? This station is like. This station is to trace this particular operators. Operators workflow right. Because the agent will run on a server. It will not run in this particular operators. You are showing a specific node, all nodes. All nodes means what are the agents present on all the nodes. It will list here. If you select specific node, it will ask for a node. I think no, you are a node. I know. I did not. It will last something. You need to specify that one. See, it is asked for a node. The agents will run on a node, right? You cannot trace it with normal trace. Maybe it will like a many agent status. I'm interested. I mean multiple agents and pressure. You can. You want to see you can stop or start from here. Also you can. You will select one agent and you'll click on stop. That agent will get disabled. Don't click, but just I'm trying to. Similarly, this is an agent. Similarly, it's for job schedulers. And if you go back on the top, you click on the back. Click on. You have jobs, no jobs or queue process. Those are also look same. You click on job. Similarly, you have you click on one thing. All jobs some matter. Message is there. I think these are all disabled. It will open us up. See, this is how job scheduler looks like. See, it is also similar to agent, only it will also at the last. It will also execute on server. It will also execute an agent. It will also execute an activity. You see in the last, you have an activity, right? You have an activity, right? And it will also execute. You have C agent job schedule. You have scheduled multiple times a day after every 1 minute. Means this is a periodic time. Multiple times a day after every 1 minute. You can set into recurring also. I think you can click on that one. Monthly, weekly, yearly. This is a recurring. The job schedulers and agents are for same functionality, but the performing will be different. Like in the background, how these will invoke, how actually it will utilize the resources, the database resources, and all that is different. But more powerful is schedulers, right? Schedulers and queue process. They were in latest version. They are introduced in latest version. Any questions? See, this is a very high level, like how actually it will work, how to do, how to perform. There is a something like load balancing techniques and all. Load balancing in the sense, like you suppose you have something like 1 lakh records to process. In that scenario is what happens. Agents will, I cannot process those many records at a time. You need to do load balancing. Load balancing in the sense you need to configure 3-4 agents and you need to queue the agents half of half. Like if you have a configured for agents for 1 lakh records, then you need to make each agent work on 25 records, like 25,000 records. Those are all load balancing techniques, but mostly those techniques will not are required for job schedule. And all because these are good at performance. People are not using those techniques and all for job schedule because this is taking care. In huge records, you can have the capacity to take and perform. Correct. In huge records also, this has a capacity. I had a question. I mean, is there a way we can see the broken queues? Broken queues, we can see somewhere. You can click on Configure. Click on Configure on the top. Configure. I'll let you know if I couldn't find it now. Go to System. System. Oh, 1 second. Go slow. No. Sonali, go to Case Management. Somewhere you can see Calm Down Tools. Here Work Admin. My logs will be there. Work, assignment error or something like that will be there. Work queue assignment. Work queue assignment errors. I think I will let you know, Sonali. Otherwise, I think go to Dev Studio again, please. This is Dev Studio only. No. Click on that. Admin Studio. Left side resources there. Click on there. Agent queues. A queue agent queues. It's loading. I think I know it handy on a password. We used to work on PEGA 7. It is a different. I think it will show broken queues, whatever there. And we need to select in the right side. Yes. And we need to requeue. Requeue option is there. We need to select. Actually, nothing is there. This is a platform, right? This is adjusted. We haven't configured any agent, right? I do want to. How to see broken queues. Analyze those things. This is about agents and she did. As queue process also looks the same. If you open any queue processor also, it will be the mostly the same. I'm going to frosting. You understand. It is also the same. You see, it is asking where processing retrace. How many times it has to reach. These are all our own configurations. Any questions till now? Just one doubt. Like queue processor. In which cases we need to use. Like we got to know. And job scheduler. Queue processor. It will be like feed wire. It will depend. I mean, how it will be. We are using, queue processor. You will use, like, you have an activity rate. If in that activity, they will update some work items. You see, you open that activity. This is an most. They will write some they are doing or delete and they are doing for processing. Anything break, they will use for processing. They will. Last time, we are handling it on our own. You understand? Cause we are doing to our own. You can date the failure. Most these things you will not work on the starting of your. If it is an existing application, if it is an existing application, will already be there. You need to any new kind of thing. If you're working any scratch, you might configure some agent. And again, if you're working framework, will already be given by frameworks. It's such. Suppose in our application, I'm working a framework. This framework, that framework has already all were given. You do not, you know, require any aid. If suppose something, something, something broke or something not working, got it. This is right. Wait, stop it. And finally, do not forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel.